YouTube, what's up? Welcome back to a new video. If this is your first time here on the channel, thanks for stopping by. Definitely check out some of my other videos, and if you like what you see, go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe. I greatly appreciate it. I absolutely love this time of year. It's that transition from summer to fall, get the nice, crisp, cool weather, drink a nice hot coffee, and of course, it's spooky season. So today I wanted to share with you 5 games that I have been playing that definitely have that, Halloween spooky vibe to them. And I feel like you should play them too if you haven't already. Let's get into it. So the first game that I started playing to kind of kick off the spooky vibes, start the holiday season was back in late September. I started playing and streaming the Callisto Protocol, and I have it on the PlayStation 5. I ran through it, and I thoroughly enjoyed my time with this game. So the Callisto Protocol was released last year, back in 2022, with like lukewarm reception, right? People weren't too hot on the game. I guess there were some issues with gameplay. I don't know. Whatever the case might be. It was buggy. I don't know. Because I literally bought this at launch, and it took almost a whole year for me to get around to playing it, right? But since the game has been released, the developers did a really good job of adding some updates and patches and all that good stuff. And like I said, I enjoyed my time with it. I'm not going to give too much of the story away for this game or any of the other games that I'm going to talk about, right? But in this game, you play as Jacob. He's the lead character, and he's a pilot. Some things happen, and he finds himself in this jail on one of the moons in Jupiter, and that's Callisto, right? And his whole objective is to get out and find out what's really going on. The story was interesting, but what I was really there for was definitely the gameplay. The combat in this game is just so much fun. A lot of people have said that the combat is kind of Punch-Out-esque because it has that same kind of flow to it. There's a lot of dodging and moving and then attacking your enemy. It just feels, the combat feels so good. It feels so good to kick the butt of some of these enemies. It's really enjoyable. It's super gory as well. There are a bunch of jump scares in there too. I know a lot of people have compared the Callisto Protocol to Dead Space, and rightfully so. It does have a Dead Space vibe going on, and most of that has a lot to do with the atmosphere. The atmosphere is fantastic in the Callisto Protocol, very similar to Dead Space. It has that sci-fi feel to it as well, and it's just creepy. But like I said, what sets this game apart from Dead Space is definitely the combat. Oh my gosh, shit is so much fun. Bramble the Mountain King is another game that I streamed live on Twitch. If you don't follow me on Twitch, definitely go ahead and follow me over on Twitch. Stream the games that I'm playing over there. But Bramble was a total surprise for me. It really was. Now, Bramble the Mountain King isn't the scariest game that you can play on any console out there, right? It definitely isn't that, but it's very subtle in its creepiness. It really is. A lot of that has to do with the fact that it is based off of Nordic folktales, right? And that folklore. So you play as a young boy who wakes up in the middle of the night and notices that his sister has gone missing. His sister isn't there. So, he's being smart. He climbs out the window and goes on this journey searching for his sister. And along the way, again, like I said, it has Nordic vibes to it. You'll see like fairies and gnomes. You'll see trolls, all that type of stuff. But like I said, it is very subtle in its creepiness. This is not by any means an amazing looking Switch game. I streamed this live on Twitch, playing on a monitor, and it didn't look good. Textures were a little muddy. I was like, okay, let me play it in handheld mode. And it looked about the same. It's not an amazing looking game, right? But with all that being said, that doesn't mean that there weren't times where I felt a little unsettled playing the game. Definitely creepy. And that just goes to show that, not every game has to look amazing in order for you to get the full effect of what the game is trying to convey. It doesn't look the best, but I still felt a little creeped out while playing it. If any of you guys enjoy games like Limbo and Inside and even Little Nightmares, definitely check out Bramble the Mountain King. Definitely has those same type of vibes to it. Lots of platforming, little to no combat. There's some puzzle solving in here as well. So for years, I've been hearing about how amazing the House of Fata Morgana is, right? It's one of the highest rated Nintendo Switch games out there. And about a year ago, I saw that it was on sale on the eShop. So because it is rather pricey digitally. So it was on sale. I went ahead and downloaded it. And back, I guess it was the end of September, again, to kind of get those spooky vibes flowing, I went ahead and started playing it. And I have to say, I am loving the hell out of this game. The House of Fata Morgana is a visual novel, and it's a visual novel where there are barely any decisions that you make in the game. There are a few in there, not many at all. So I do want to let you guys know that off the break. You're not really playing this game. You're reading it. And I guess it could be described as like a Gothic horror story, if that sounds interesting to any of you guys out there. But since it is so narrative heavy, I definitely don't want to give anything away in this game. Don't want to spoil it at all because it truly is an experience. It tells the story of this house or a mansion, right? And how the mansion has affected the people that have stayed there throughout a period of time. And it is rather interesting. Absolutely love the presentation in this game. Beautiful artwork, amazing soundtrack. The sound effects are great. The writing is like top notch. Guys, if you aren't into visual novels, because I'm not one that reads visual novels, I'm not into visual novels like that. I don't want a love story. And while there is a little bit of love in here, that's not the focus of the story, right? But definitely do not avoid this game if you don't like visual novels, because it is a true experience. Fatal Frame Mask of the Lunar Eclipse is definitely a traditional survival horror game at its best. For those of you that might not know, Fatal Frame is a traditional survival horror game. It started back on the PlayStation 2, if I remember correctly. I only played the first Fatal Frame game and remember being scared shitless from that. But it does kind of break the mold a little bit when it comes to survival horror games because you don't have a weapon. Well, you do have a weapon. Your weapon is a camera. And yeah, that's how you get rid of the ghost and the supernatural baddies in the Fatal Frame series. Mask of the Lunar Eclipse basically tells a story of these girls, a group of girls that were on this island, and they were being held captive, and a few of them got away. But they have amnesia and they can't remember. I guess they want to go back to the island to try to refresh their memory as to what exactly happened. Is that a smart choice? No. Would I have done that? Absolutely not. But that's the story that Fatal Frame Mask of the Lunar Eclipse is telling for the most part. There are just plenty of jump scares in this game, and every time I play it, I get a sense of fear. Like I am legitimately scared because these ghosts will show up in front of you, they'll show up behind you, to the side, all over the place. And it's a matter of you pulling out your camera quick enough and trying to capture pictures of these ghosts in order to get rid of them. Controls are a little janky, if I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I'm not the biggest fan of the control scheme in this game. And the characters just don't run fast enough for me. That's just me being honest. But other than that, I'm enjoying everything about this game, exploring the environments, just the unsettling, creepy vibe to it, all the black and white. It's a good time if you're looking for something supernatural. The last game that I do want to talk about isn't necessarily a horror game. It's more or less of a puzzle game, and it's Strange Horticulture. The story starts off telling you that you have inherited a plant shop from your uncle, and you have to run this shop. So customers will come in and they're asking you to identify a certain plant for whatever it is that they may need. The tricky part comes in because they know what's bothering them. It could be something as simple as they have a stomach ache or they have a headache or whatever the case may be. They know that they need one of your plants. They just don't know what plant that they need. So you need to pull out your handy dandy plant book, right? That gives you all the information. They'll describe it for you. You got to look through the book and try to match up and give them the correct plant. I know it sounds silly, but it really is a good time. That's where the whole puzzle element comes in. You can even do things like water your plants. You can organize your plants. I mean, at the end of the day, you're classifying and organizing plants in strange horticulture, right? But there is a sense of mystery in this game, and I find the writing to be really, really good. I'm almost done with this game. I'll probably have it done by the time Halloween rolls around. But, you know, I'm going to classify it as a spooky game because it does have those vibes to it. And also there's like jack-o'-lanterns sitting next to some of your plants. Your plant shop has some cool looking jack-o'-lanterns in there. And there's also this, look, I'm not a fan of cats, right? But there is this cute black cat that's sitting there, and you can like pet it and it'll purr and meow. It's really cute. And you know, it's a black cat. So that has something to do with Halloween, right? So those are 5 games that definitely have those spooky vibes to them that you should totally play to get ready for Halloween. Before I go though, I do want to shout out one game that recently came out and I just started playing it today, and that's Alan Wake 2. I don't have a lot to say about the gameplay in Alan Wake 2 just because I literally started playing it today. I streamed it. I streamed about 2 hours of it, but I really enjoy this game. I loved the first Alan Wake game. I thought the story, the narrative altogether was fantastic. The gameplay, not too much, but this seems to be a lot better as far as gameplay goes than the first game. I also like the fact that you play as a different character. I know Alan Wake, later on you play as Alan Wake as well, but you start off playing as Saga, who is an FBI agent, and there's this cool gameplay element where you have a case board. So you're trying to solve these cases, and you take your evidence and put it on the case board. It kind of just like visualizes everything. Makes it easy for me to see what's really going on. There's also like an investigative aspect to that as well. I don't like I said, I've only played 2 hours of it, and I know there's a lot more that goes on. I just got into the combat. I know there's a lot that's going on in Alan Wake 2, but yeah, that game definitely has some spooky vibes as well. Guys, let me know what spooky games you've played this Halloween. Give me some recommendations. I mean, this isn't the only time of year that you can play these scary type of games, right? So definitely give me some recommendations if you have them. I want to thank all of you for watching this video, and I'll check you next time. Peace.